Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here at the Brothers Grin's YouTube channel. Today we got a couple good stories from Am I the Asshole? That's my brother Jeremy and I'm Alex. We're going to dive right into some funny stories and hopefully you guys get a laugh out of it. I got one pulled up here for you, so I'm going to go ahead with it. It's titled, let's see here. Am I the asshole for ending a 6-year relationship because my partner's vaginismus made me lose sexual and emotional connection?
Vaginismus. We checked. We checked. It's a real word. Yes, it's a real word.
Yeah, if you don't believe me, chat GBT it, because we checked. I read it and I was like, somebody got some spelling errors or
It
something.
says it's a medical condition of uncontrolled spasms of a lady's area. So let's let's go ahead and see what this is.
All right, so here we go. It says, my ex, female, and me, male, were together for 6 years. Early on, I learned she had a condition that made penetration impossible, but I loved her and thought we could figure things out over time. For years, our sex life was limited to oral and manual stuff. Only oral and manual.
What?
If she
Yeah,
has issues,
manual.
I don't. I maybe quick handy or two. I don't know, but I mean, if you're only limited to oral and manual, there's got
Double clicking the mouse.
there's I don't know. There's
No,
another door.
click.
There might be another door there that you need to
Oh
explore.
my god.
I'm just saying.
Knock knock.
Hello. A couple of years in, I encouraged her to seek medical help. She went to appointments, did physiotherapy, got dilators, but despite all the effort, nothing changed. Eventually, we both stopped trying. She seemed unfazed, still affectionate and sexual in other ways, while my desire slowly disappeared, along with my emotional connection, which began to fade too. I don't know. If she had issues, she should be a lot more like aware of the situation, I'm guessing, like especially emotionally. Anyway, it says we fell into a cycle. She'd notice me pulling away, confront me, and I'd explain my detachment and sexual frustration. This always turned into fights over whose fault it was, that things weren't improving. She said I wasn't trying enough. I wonder how he's trying. I mean, they're both 26. That's a very active time of life, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's when that carries a lot of weight.
So it says, meanwhile, my life got busier to a degree. New business and the relationship started feeling like a burden instead of something I wanted. I began therapy and realized I felt trapped, unable to express what I wanted to without setting off another argument. I knew I wanted to end things. We agreed to do it gradually over the course of a couple months. I've agreed to find a new place and let her keep the apartment, but after a heated fight, it ended after a month. Recently, I heard from mutual friends that she's telling people I was toxic and put her in an impossible situation. So I'm wondering, was I unreasonable and am I the asshole for leaving?
That just that whole scenario. I mean, like after looking at, like, you didn't read me the post beforehand. You just gave me the title, and I forget how to pronounce the word, so I'm not going to pronounce
Vaginismus?
it out of fear. Vaginismus, yeah. So we had to look that up because I wasn't sure if that was a real word, and the description of the word,
Vaginismus.
you know, yeah, vaginismus. Merry vaginismus, everyone.
It's so horrible.
Good Lord.
It's not funny we're laughing at a medical condition. That's not what we're laughing at. Just the word itself.
But like the definition of the word itself, the uncontrolled spasms of the inner muscles of that area, like, you know, you would think that, like, okay, that might add an element of excitement, because you're like, oh, but as this guy stated in this post, like, it made it impossible. It hurt her.
Yeah,
it hurt her.
I'm guessing it. I
didn't hear that it hurt her.
It didn't say it hurt her, I don't think. But let me see.
It just said it made it impossible for intercourse. Like,
yeah.
I'm over here thinking, like,
here's a comment that might help. For anyone with vaginismus, this is just my experience. I had it my whole life and did everything that the original post's girlfriend did without resolve. I guess the original person who wrote it's girlfriend did without resolve. But one thing that completely worked was going on Prozac for about half a year. It might not work for everyone, but I think mentally it allowed me to unclench my body subconsciously. So I'm guessing it's like, clenching up and That's it.
Yeah.
But it did say I
It
did
could
have
be.
surgery and it literally changed my life for the better. I wish surgical option was discussed with me for this extremely common problem. I don't know how it's an extremely common problem because this is the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've never
And
heard of it.
I know, especially with all the ladies you've been with, like
Oh,
Jeremy.
anyway, anyway.
But and then another person's like, "What surgery? I don't know what surgery you're talking about." Call it, but my gyno basically just made
Well, I
small.
mean,
Yeah,
like,
it's a small
if it's
incision to make it a little bigger.
I mean, if it's compared to something like a seizure or something like that, and that the way the muscles tighten up and tense, and I could see that causing extreme discomfort and stuff. But just to say that intercourse in itself is completely off the table, like that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, work around it if you can. Obviously, it didn't work out for them trying to find workarounds, and the alternatives weren't meeting the standard. And in your early to mid 20s, I feel like that's a very important part of the dynamic of a relationship, especially for being
Important. It's like
in a
one
relationship.
of the pillars of a relationship. I mean,
Well, yeah,
relationships end because of bad sex.
well,
Marriage is
I
in
read,
because of
I
bad
read
sex
this a
lives.
long time ago. They said good sex counts for 10% of a relationship, bad sex counts for 60% of a relationship. And this was from a
It's
women's
good.
magazine. I
Yeah,
don't know how accurate it is, but I
Dear Ann.
read that a long time ago, and I've always kept that in mind because it's like, it makes sense to me, but because a lot of people need a lot of the I's dotted and the T's crossed in relationships. Not saying you have room to slack, but especially in the beginning, especially being young, you're not willing to compromise a lot, even after you build an emotional rapport with somebody.
I'm looking over here in some of the comments. It's like, what worked for me, this guy wrote, was a breakup. Vaginismus solved in less than a week.
Oh my God,
People are
that's
tough.
rugged though. Like, people should have understanding for things, that's for sure. But like as I said, like
This
you
girl
know,
says that's basically my experience as well. Once I realized I'm actually gay and stopped trying with boys altogether, I haven't had to shut down since. There's a
I mean,
when somebody says weed helps, that it calms your muscles down. Breakups are horrible and confusing, but I don't know. I mean, I think this person's going to go through a lot of stuff with different people till she finds somebody who's one willing to adhere to the problem, who truly loves her for her. It's just like anything, you know what I mean? You could say, "Oh, I'd marry," or I could be with a girl that's deaf, or I could be with somebody who's
yeah.
blind, or
Well, you
any
don't know
one of
until
those
you're in it.
scenarios.
Like,
Yeah,
I thought
like,
I could be with a vegan. Definitely couldn't.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that
that'd be
like,
rough too.
yeah. Well, especially if you have deep rooted emotional and mental blocks going on, and you don't have self comfort, like you're not secure in yourself. That could add a lot to it. We know that the mental does affect the body physically in many different ways and in many different situations. So this could just be one of those where, who only knows? We can only speculate what her thought process and emotional fortitude was, and or range, and what she was really comfortable with. But that definitely sounds like a crappy situation for both parties. You
Yeah,
know.
I think her going where his problem wasn't so much the breakup. I think it was her going back through and telling mutual friends that he was toxic about it. I think
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
the
I mean,
toxicity happened towards the end when they started arguing more about it and stuff like that. And she's like, "Well, I
yeah.
can't change this fact," and he's just like, "I'm not asking you to,
Well,
but he should have.
she
They
took.
probably broke it off a lot sooner." But
It seems like she took the standpoint of a victim in there a little bit, which isn't entirely wrong, but it wasn't like he was trying to victimize her. They spent enough time together to try
6
to work through
years.
the problem. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
exactly, 6 years. And then on top of that, it was becoming a very big thing to him because it really was cutting out a very emotional bonding activity for people, everyone. Some people don't have that attachment, and which is fine, but majority of people have that attachment. And so if you're cutting that out, that can be a huge thing because you're also thinking like, what does the long term look like? But
Oh yeah. I bet it definitely is a doozy. But we'll see what
definitely.
people say in the comments. If you got something to comment on about vaginismus, Go ahead and drop it down below.
Stupid. Vaginismus. I don't want to comment anymore on this because I feel like it's just sketchy area to be in. Like, ladies, I'm not
Yeah.
judging no one. I
No,
get it.
definitely not. Couldn't even
Yeah.
begin to
Have a sister
assume.
raised by a single mom. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So
All right, let's
I
move
got
on.
mine queued up.
You got yours? All right, let's
And
go with one of yours.
yeah, we'll trade off. We each got two, right? We each got two.
Yeah, I got one more.
Okay. So this one, am
I
I
don't know
the
how you're
a-hole?
gonna beat vaginismus though.
Okay, am I the a-hole? And mind you, everyone, if you've already heard these, we're new to this. We're not trying to copy anyone. We're not trying to use material that other people have used. Even if we do, it's our reaction and our insight and our thought process on it is entirely separate from them. And so just that real quick disclaimer. Yeah. Okay, so this one is titled, Am I the A-hole? Me, male 28, and my fiance, female 27, regularly go on couples dates and trips with her best friend and her best friend's man, male 28, female 28. My fiance just admitted she used to have threesomes with them. Okay.
Fiance booted. Under 30 seconds.
Well, hey. You don't know the story yet. You don't know the story.
Drop and kick. Kaboosh.
Okay, so this one. Okay.
Yeah.
And mind you, there's some grammatical errors in this, so some of it's my reading because I'm getting used to reading like this, and some of it's grammatical errors, and so I'll try to correct as much as I can. Okay, so it starts off, me and my fiance have been together for just over 2 years now, engaged for 4 months. Since I've known her, her best friend has always been Lucy from the university. Lucy is a really nice girl, and her boyfriend Rob is a good guy too, so I get on with them really well. Because of the dynamic, we often go on couples dates and even have been on holiday 3 times together. It's always been a really good time. However, on the most recent trip, my fiance admitted something I really wish she hadn't. We had rented an Airbnb villa, and after a few drinks in the evening, Rob and Lucy were getting a bit handsy and said they were going to bed. Me and my fiance stayed at the pool.
Handsy with the girl or handsy with the guy?
They were getting handsy with each other.
Oh,
the
with
other
each
couple was
other.
getting handsy with each other, and they excused themselves to bed.
And let's establish this must be from Europe because say we're going on holiday. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, like somewhere over there. That's
Yeah.
We had rented an Airbnb villa, handsy, and said they were going to bed. Me and my fiance stayed by the pool and just lightly joked about how we knew they were obviously going to go upstairs and do the deed. After another drink, my fiance started talking a bit more about Rob and Lucy and how she knew them both since university. She then told me how they'd once all slept together as a threesome after a party and how that eventually led to them having threesomes just about 4 or 5 times before she met me. I tried to shrug it off, and at the time I couldn't help but feel almost sick. It was
shrug that off. She's like, and by the way, Rob's is a lot bigger than yours.
My God, dude, imagine.
Might as well just kneecap the guy.
Where are we at here? It was people we didn't know. I wouldn't care. If it was people we didn't know, I wouldn't care. But we literally see this couple most weeks, and knowing they've all been in one big secret makes me feel uncomfortable. Understand. When we got back from the trip, I tried to bring it up that she should have told me early on, as it would have made me reconsider the relationship. She snapped back and said that this was years ago and that I should just get over it. I suggested we should maybe go on less couple dates with Rob and Lucy, but my fiance said that Lucy is her best friend and she will see her as often as she pleases. I know it happened before me, so it's not exactly betrayal, but I wish she told me sooner because I don't think I'd have started dating her knowing her close friends, knowing how close she is with them. However, she started on wedding plans, and I feel like we're too far in to just call it off. And he says one more thing. Am I just a jealous a-hole, or is this something legitimate to be upset about? How should I bring this up to her and get some clarity on? How do I just deal with it myself? bro. Bro, if I was hanging out with people for over the course of you know, a handful of years, 2 years and 4 months. If I've been hanging out with these people and this was my girl and she's telling me almost 2.5 years into relationship that they
Yeah.
both pounded her down, I'm over here high fiving, not knowing. Like, I would be upset. I don't know.
Put along this lines, like if she's out over at Lucy's house just chilling and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna go hang out with Lucy," that's like him saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go hang out with an ex," or "I'm gonna go over to my ex's house and chill." Like nobody would be okay with that. And that's, I mean, yeah, they're best friends, and yes, it happened before him, but the whole thing, yeah, I don't see it getting any better. And he's just in him saying, is this something I have to deal with? What, you gonna deal with it? You're getting married, or you can deal with it forever until
Well,
you don't want
also,
to deal with it no more? Like,
yeah, well, you know what's going to eat at you as a person. You know what's going to be in the back of your mind, especially if there's no resolution. And it seemed like her resolution was deal with it. Deal with it
or
is
make
never a
him
good
deal with it.
resolution.
Yeah.
Deal,
Make him
deal
deal
with
with
it.
it,
Deal
or
with it is just one of those things people say to discount other people's feelings. And it's like, if this was a really respectful relationship, those feelings would be valid and important, and she would recognize that and convey that. Um,
I also think
some of the
like she would have came back with something better, like, "Hey, I will only, hey, if until you're more comfortable with it, we're getting married, we're doing these things. I'll only hang out with Lucy when you're there, or we invite her out with us, or so on and so forth. I don't know, some other thing else than deal with it or be
I
attached.
mean,
She's clearly in the
a,
wrong
a,
though.
a lot of the comments are saying she's the a-hole, and it's a
Guaranteed.
betrayal to him by having her around these people. She has been in like intimate like relations with, even though it was prior to him. It should have been brought to the forefront at the start of the relationship, especially with how intricate her relationship is with the both of them. It's her best
For
friend
sure.
and her
For
best friend's
sure.
man.
I
um
100% agree with that.
no matter what you do, even if you're in a secure relationship, like having somebody around that's pounded down your partner, that's been intimate with your partner in a way that is supposed to be only for you and them, is always going to give you certain feelings. It's always going to affect you in a certain way. Like, you know, you don't even have to be the jealous type, but if Bob over there used to date your girl and he's talking to her one on one and you're across the room and she's laughing, she might not have to touch his arm or nothing. There's still
Yeah.
something going on in the back of your mind a little bit. To say there isn't, like,
That's a lot of
I,
the, I don't know. I feel like that's a lot of stuff too with guys just wanting to be girls' friends. Like,
yeah.
we
I
know
mean,
we
like,
know plenty of homies over the years that are just they're trapped in that friend bubble over here
oh, they're just
secretly
they
plotting.
grabbed their ticket and they've been waiting in the lobby.
They're
They're just chilling, waiting in
waiting
the lobby.
waiting to be like, oh, your man's not doing what for you? Well, I could be that knight in shining armor.
Well, also too, it's like, like people
Come
need to
on.
take more accountability about who they're expressing their emotional turmoil to. Like, if I'm sitting here telling a woman about my emotional turmoil, and this woman's here to listen to me to a degree, on just a basic sense, I feel like. But if she's my own age and she's expressed any kind of not affection, but like, we'll just say likeness towards me, she likes me to some degree, there's going to be a window there. There might be a doorway there that she might feel is potentially openable for her. She can open that, especially when I'm in a vulnerable state. But I have to take ownership of the fact that I'm expressing something deep and intimate about my partner to the opposite sex, and that gives them awareness of a rift in that. And a lot of people, if they're self-serving, will exploit that rift, which, I'm not here to
Yeah.
judge no one. That's not
Yeah.
my forte. Like, but like, it's just what it is. But as I said, a lot of the comments are like, "You're not the a-hole. She should be doing this. She should be upfront with you." Like, it's entrapment and stuff like that. I really feel like that's kind of entrapment for me. Like, that's a huge thing. Like, the girl,
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to
I
share.
wonder
Like,
if there is there anything like updated on this story since then? Is there anything
I
like
don't
any
see any
new?
updates. I've looked and I don't see anything. And this was posted 1 month ago.
So it's
So
fairly new. Well, hopefully we get some updates and we can bring it back to the channel.
if somebody does know of the update on this, shoot it to us. Um, when you have the availability, like
That'd
how
be
I just
dope.
go over that, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just hey, tag us in this, or send it to the subreddit or whatever the fuck. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for that one. I'll close that one out, and you can do the next one.
All right. Oh, I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded with this one. I don't know why. Like, we picked why. Oh, yeah, mine was the vaginismus and yours was sleeping this one. And the next one is pretty much along them same lines. It says, am I the
Well,
asshole? They're
it's
huge, dude.
strife.
It,
Strife. It's not
they jump out at me for some reason. It's just like some of this
because
stuff is I can't believe these people are even asking, like what did you learn to take this kind of emotional drama or what kind of relationships they've had or but I don't know.
like why are they rationalizing the emotional drama? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, something like that. Like
Well, I mean, you know, you have to think if people haven't had a lot of relationships and haven't dealt with a lot, it's just like anything else. You have to learn how to navigate those waters, especially when a majority of them, a majority of relationships, or if you've had a few relationships, have been very surface level. Like, you
yeah, it
know,
might be their first
like
real
in my 20s,
relationship.
man, like the longest
Yeah.
relationship I had was like a year, maybe a little bit longer than a year. And that's because I didn't have the emotional maturity to figure out what the issue was to preserve the relationship. But I also didn't care about preserving the relationship. I was in my 20s. I worked at a bar. I was like, hey,
The
fucking whatever. Like,
plethora.
thanks for the time. It was awesome.
Plethora.
Well, not a plethora, but like, you know, like
Is it plethora or plethora?
it's plethora.
Oh, wow, I say plethora.
Plethora. You sound like you said it right to me.
I'll just slur it.
But
I'll just
but you
eliminate that
know,
shit.
when you're out there trying to live life and have
Yeah,
fun,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, I mean, you know, how serious are you taking relationships in your 20? I'm not saying people don't. I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah.
it's just what it is. We grew up in a college town, so we know that there's a lot of free
Chico
spirits out
State?
there. Oh my God, don't rep Chico State.
Uh, It was fun in the 90s.
It was fun in the 90s.
Yeah,
That
amazing.
It was.
Amazing.
That it was before the city cracked down on all the parties
That
and
Halloween.
stuff, and the college parties, and
Halloween
yeah,
was
it's a
king
good
in
time.
Chico. If anybody's
Oh,
from Chico, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
All right, let's go to this next one, Jeremy. All right, am I the asshole for sleeping with my sister's boyfriend, but it's not what it sounds like? I don't understand that title very much because it sounds to me like you slept with your sister's boyfriend.
I mean,
all right, let's get to it.
okay.
My sister, 26, is dating and soon to be engaged to my 25-year-old ex-boyfriend. I know he's planning on proposing, or was, as I was helping him. When I was 16, I dated my sister's now boyfriend for about 6 months. It wasn't a super serious relationship, but we, as most teenagers do around that age, had sex. We did it a few times, but nothing obscene. The relationship ended amicably because we simply didn't want to date anymore. There were no harsh feelings, and we remained friends throughout the high school and college years. Well, that don't sound too bad. When my sister was around 23, she moved back to our hometown a year or so after college, and he was living here. They began to spend time together, and she asked if it would bother me if they began to date. I had absolutely no problem with it and told her there were absolutely no weird feelings, and I didn't even consider him a serious relationship as it was nearly almost 10 years ago. They've now been dating for the past 3 years, and he plans to propose and has even asked for my help. No problem yet. Now for the actual conflict. About a week ago, I, my sister, her boyfriend, and a few of our mutual friends went out to dinner. During one of the conversations, my sister made a joke about how he better propose soon because she was starting to feel like an old maid. Her words. I asked her what she meant, and she said they were both saving themselves for marriage. I asked her if she meant in just the relationship or if she was saving herself, period. She said that they've both been saving themselves for their whole lives. I gave her boyfriend a strange look from across the table, and she caught it. She asked why I looked at him weird, and I said it was nothing, and I tried to move past it. She insisted I tell her why, because she thought I was judging them. I confessed that we had sex in high school, although it didn't really mean anything. She got mad at him first for lying, and somehow he managed to convince her that it never happened. And then she got mad at me for making stuff up. Direct quote. Trying to sabotage our future marriage because you're not over him. I told her I was, in fact, completely over him and that I was also not lying, and then they both got up and left. My friends know I was telling the truth, and I have tried to contact her and back me up. She hasn't answered any of the texts to me, and that day after saying that I wouldn't be invited to their future wedding if I didn't admit to lying. I do feel really bad and wish I hadn't said anything or lied about why I looked at him, but I felt like I owed it to her because she's my sister, and he was lying. Should I have handled it differently? No, not have told her at all, etc. Am I the asshole?
I mean, if it, like,
I don't think she's the
I don't.
asshole.
No, she's not. She's not at all. Like, kudos to that man for being able to pull off such a blatant lie. I mean, like, like, how you gonna not trust your sister over this dude? I mean, I get love is a crazy thing, and but I mean, what happened. Like that. That's just silly. Like we boned down. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Describe that man's manhood to her. Be like, yeah, a freckle on the tip, and it's curved slightly at a 25-degree angle to the lower left.
It's one of the comments says if he was banging you at 16, there's a strong chance he banged others. 17 to 23,
yeah.
right? Yeah,
Dude,
of course. Come on,
dude.
now. Oh, dude. A lot of people are here saying that she's not the asshole and that she was right to tell her sister. People were saying the same thing you were saying. You should have told your sister. I mean, of course, she didn't. Nobody's saying she should have told her earlier or because there was no context for it. But I don't know. I think a lot of then there's some ladies in here saying men like to cheat. It's just going on that note. But I really feel like this girl's sister should have trusted her. One, if you told me that you boned some girl down, I believe you boned that girl down. I wouldn't.
Yeah, of course.
Be like, oh, you're lying about it.
Well, I mean,
it's dumb.
The girl's sister. It's like you gonna marry. I mean, granted, it was years ago and stuff like that, like teenage years and stuff.
Who cares?
But like, it's still one of those things though. Like if you have shared an intimate moment, those things might be in the back, and you never know if this dude's willing to lie to this lady's sister about his
saving himself
prior sexual
maybe just trying to make her feel good or something.
He might down the line be make innuendo to her private settings, and that
right after the honeymoon, she's like, I got the itch. What happened?
God, I mean, that's
you're like, no, man, no. I'm saving myself.
Bad. Yeah, that's bad.
That's crazy.
That's just a crappy situation. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, small town, like, just the pool. There's only so many fish in that small town pool, water, pond, or whatever.
Well, I mean, they love each other. It's something they should just get over and sit down with the sister and talk it out about, But same thing. Every family gathering, everything. She's like, oh, he's been with my husband, but they were kids, like 16. Yeah. That's a long time ago. It had nothing to do.
Their relationship was when they were kids, which is understandable. But his lying is current.
No,
his deception is current.
Yeah, everybody's like, everybody here's like, what a shitty guy.
Of course.
Everybody's like, he's cruel. You're not the asshole. You're not. Your obligation is to your sister. You met it when
we
you
also
told
know
them.
That, like,
a lot of people are saying not the asshole. You can turn a blind
eye to a lot of things the person you're with has done or is doing because, numerous reasons: fear, a lack of ownership of your own emotional state, and
it says here he lied to you, not your fault. Not the asshole, of course. He's the one lying, not you. And your sister is in denial. It sucks for her, and I empathize, but she's handling this poorly. Not the asshole. I hope she listens to you and not him. Update me, everybody. Of course, update me and let us know what happened. But we'll see if we get anything new on it. All right, let's hear your last one before we get out of here.
Okay.
One more. Y'all in luck. One more.
This one is...
Hopefully it's not sleeping with somebody.
No. Am I the a-hole for ghosting my girlfriend after she nearly killed both of us? Okay. So my girlfriend, 20 female, and I, 22-year-old male, have been together for a little over 10 months now. We haven't had any heated arguments or fights, except for the fact that she keeps tickling me randomly, despite the fact that I've repeatedly told her to never do it again because...
Boundaries.
Because I can act I can act strangely to it. Something from my childhood, which I won't delve into, he says.
Unc was tickling him.
Was that?
That Unc was tickling him.
Oh my God, bro. Um, now to get into the current situation. This week I've had my car returned from a paint job and some major look changes, and was really satisfied with it. The results. I took the day off from work and took my girlfriend on a short trip outside the city. We drove to a lake, ate some food, relaxed for a couple hours until it got pretty dark, and we decided to head back home to get some sleep. As I had to go to work the next day, and she had an exam. On the way home, I started talking about how happy I felt with how the paint job turned out, and out of nowhere, she started tickling me. I pushed her hand away and told her to stop. Then she reached for my ribs with both hands and got me swerving off the road.
Oh, so
Swerving off the
yeah.
She ready to kill us. She crazy. Thankfully, no one was hurt, although the car got some deep scratches, but that didn't even matter anymore. As I already slowed down after her first attempt to tickle me, I admit that I told her, "What the F is wrong with you?" As soon as we stopped out of the car. Okay, as soon as we stopped out of the car, she started crying. Okay, that's some weird typo on his part. I don't know. But I could care less because I felt as if my veins were about to pop. So this man was heated. Rightfully so. I'd be heated too.
My new Honda Accord got some scratches.
Yeah. When we got home, I told her to pack her things and go to her best friend's, but she threw a tantrum and begged me to forgive her for a little mistake. I didn't say a word. I simply stared in disgust and pointed to her luggage. After her friend picked her up, I tried to go to sleep, but my mind was racing, so I barely got any rest. This happened on a Tuesday, and she's been blowing up my phone ever since. But I haven't answered a call, text. I just blocked her. This led to her friend coming to my house and telling me to at least hear my girlfriend out. But I told her to fuck off and leave me alone, which made her tell me that I'm more in love with a car than with my girlfriend. So am I the a-hole for this situation? Should I talk to my girlfriend? I already feel like I can't trust her after what happened, and our relationship can't be fixed.
First of all,
Listen,
a car ain't gonna cheat.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I hate being tickled. Like, I don't mind a little playful tickle, but if you're getting double fingered up into the ribs while I'm driving, like that don't make sense. We're doing anything to me while I'm driving. Like, we're driving. Don't be trying to tickle me. I'm spasmatic. I'll be like, oh, you getting
anything?
And he went off the road and the car got scratched. Like, his new paint job, he's super stoked about it. And like, I just don't understand.
It's a 10-month relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
how do you rationalize, like, forcibly tickling somebody in a way that they express?
He's already said no to her a bunch
discomfort
of times, and he's just like, hey, you know, and he sat her down and told her this, like, I don't want you tickling me, and then she's doing it, and he's like, stop. And then it's got, like, what is this girl's obsession with wanting to tickle people too? Like while they're driving?
Man, there's a lot of girls out there. There's a lot of people out there that think tickling is a bonding thing. For myself,
I don't like it. I don't like it either. I'm like, well,
please don't tickle.
There's girls that like smack too, like slap your skin. And I'm just like, hey, that hurts. Like, I'd rather you punch me in my shoulder. I'm like, that shit don't hurt. But I don't like to be smacked. Like, don't smack me.
I dated a girl a long time ago when I was like 18, 19, and she would like to pinch like the back of my arm back here.
Oh, tender area too.
The relationship didn't last long. Just because, like, I did express to her, like, why are you doing that? That's not something that feels good. Why are you doing something to me that doesn't feel good? Nobody wants to be pinched. Nobody wants to be pinched in an aggressive way, especially, like, you know, with the tips of fingernails and stuff. Like, that doesn't feel good.
Weird fetishes or something, you know? I wouldn't, you know?
Well, I mean, myself, I chalk it up to lack of experience in relationships, respecting boundaries and stuff like that. It's just, you know, that whole situation with this gentleman here is real crappy. But I don't think he's the a-hole. Like, if he's told her repeated times, clarified why, maybe gave her deeper insight to the reason that he didn't want to tell us, like whatever that situation was, but still like, hey, I don't like to be tickled. I don't need you digging into my soft spots with your fingers because, you know, my reaction, you're like, but I'm over here like
All
not
giddy.
happy. Yeah, like I'm tickling you. It tickles. Like that's great. But if I'm not enjoying it, then why are you doing it? Like it's self-serving. Like why would you do anything self-serving like that? Especially if it's causing the person you're with,
uncomfort.
Discomfort in an unhappy way.
Uncomfort.
But no, I think a lot of people in the comments are like, you're not the a-hole. You're not the a-hole. What is this one? Yeah, why is she tickling you full well knowing that you don't want to be tickled, especially while you're driving, stuff like that, and especially with damage happening to your car? It's like, yeah, you're not the a-hole, bro.
Yeah,
that
why didn't she just say why didn't she just come through and be like, you know, I'll pay for the damages or something like that, sorry, and I won't tickle you anymore, and then maybe you could have left it at that, or I didn't realize it was bothering you
bro,
that bad.
Imagine
but they're young. That's what I'm saying. It's a short relationship. They're young. Dude's gonna be like, deuces, get on about your way, and that'd be the end of it.
There's a level of immaturity in the situation as it transpires that shows, like, you know, age and stuff like that. Because imagine, when you were in your 20s and you had your Eclipse, a random girl tickling you, and you swerve your Eclipse off onto the shoulder and mess up the rims.
Ejecto seat, cuz boop.
No,
out of here.
None of that.
Or my RX-7 now, even. Hell, I'll kick the wife out the car for that. If I'm driving my RX-7, FD's clean. But anyway, I wouldn't do that. I'd kick her nowhere. Yeah, we don't play those games. We don't play these tickle games. That don't. But cool, we'll leave it at that, man. I guess. We'll get back to y'all and
chill.
Read you some more.
Nothing too crazy.
You guys like the stories here, and come back for some more later on. Drop a few comments in there and let us know what you think.
For posterity's sake, if there's anything you want us to read, anything you would like us to react to, we'll have corresponding links to drop those, for you to drop the links to those stories to us, and we can read through them, make sure there's nothing too crazily inappropriate, and get it out there for you guys.
Hey, I don't know what more is inappropriate than vaginismus. That's a key takeaway from this episode.
Dude, like, I was like, that word had to be made up.
It was hard for me to read it. Yeah, me neither. It was just hard to read. I was like,
that first time in my life I ever heard of this condition, and so
we'll leave her there. All right, guys, thanks a lot.
Till next time.